The Hōgen Rebellion, a biography of a pivotal conflict in Japanese history. In the summer of 1156, the ancient capital of Kyoto, Japan, became the crucible for a brief but transformative civil war known as the Hōgen Rebellion. Spanning from July 28 to August 16, 1156, this conflict was more than a mere dispute over imperial succession. It was a seismic shift in the power dynamics of the Heian period. The rebellion marked the decline of the Fujiwara clan's aristocratic dominance and the ascendance of the samurai class, setting the stage for Japan's first military government. This biography of the Hōgen Rebellion traces its origins, key figures, dramatic battles, and enduring legacy, weaving a narrative that captures its role as a turning point in Japanese history. The Heian context, a world of courtly intrigue. To understand the Hōgen Rebellion, one must first grasp the political and cultural landscape of the Heian period. Established in 794 with the founding of Kyoto, the Heian era was characterized by a refined court culture, where poetry, calligraphy, and aristocratic rituals flourished. The imperial family, descended from the sun goddess Amaterasu in Shinto mythology, held symbolic authority, but real power often rested with the Fujiwara clan. Through strategic marriages and regencies, the Fujiwara controlled young emperors, ensuring their dominance over the court. By the 12th century, however, the system of cloistered rule introduced new complexities. Retired emperors, freed from ceremonial duties, could wield significant influence, often rivaling the reigning emperor and the Fujiwara regents. This created a delicate balance of power prone to fracture. The death of Emperor Kono in 1155 sparked a succession crisis that set the stage for the rebellion. Retired Emperor Toba, who had abdicated in 1123, supported his son Emperor Go-Shirakawa as Kono's successor, believing he could maintain control through him. Retired Emperor Setoku, who had abdicated in 1142, felt sidelined and sought to reclaim influence, possibly for himself or his son. This imperial rivalry was exacerbated by divisions within the Fujiwara clan, particularly between brothers Fujiwara no Tadamaki, the region aligned with Go-Shirakawa, and Fujiwara no Yorinaga, who backed Setoku in a bid for greater power. The samurais rise. A new power emerges. The involvement of the samurai clans, Minamoto and Taira, was a defining feature of the rebellion, signaling their growing political clout. Minamoto no Tamiyoshi, head of the Minamoto clan, and Taira no Tadamasa sided with Setoku, drawn by loyalty or promises of favor. In contrast, Minamoto no Yashitomo, Tamiyoshi's son, and Taira no Kayamori, head of the Taira clan, supported Go-Shirakawa, seeing alignment with the reigning emperor as a path to prominence. This split within and between clans, fathers against sons, uncles against nephews, added a tragic dimension to the conflict, reflecting the samurai's evolving role as not just warriors but political players. The outbreak, the night of July 28, 1156. The Hōgen Rebellion erupted on the night of July 28, 1156, when Setoku's forces, led by Yorinaga and Tamiyoshi, launched an attack on the Shirakawa-den Palace in Kyoto, where Go-Shirakawa's allies were based. The Hōgen Monogatari, a later chronicle, vividly describes the audacity of the assault, led by Minamoto no Tamitomo, Tamiyoshi's son and a legendary archer. Tamitomo proposed a night raid to exploit the element of surprise, a tactic that showcased the samurai's military expertise over the court's traditional strategies. The battle was fierce but brief, concentrated in Kyoto's urban landscape. Go-Shirakawa's forces, fortified by Yashitomo and Kayamori, held a numerical advantage. The Hōgen Monogatari recounts Tamitomo's heroic stand, claiming his arrows could pierce armor and even sink boats, a likely exaggeration but indicative of his fearsome reputation. Despite their valor, Setoku's forces faced strategic disadvantages, including defections and poor coordination. By mid-August, the rebels were overwhelmed and the palace was secured. The aftermath, a shift in power. The rebellion's consequences were far-reaching. Setoku was captured and exiled to Sanuki province, where he died in 1164, reportedly cursing his enemies. Yorinaga fell in battle, a significant loss for the Fujiwara's radical faction. Tamiyoshi was executed by his own son, Yashitomo, a grim act that underscored the samurai's loyalty to the victors over family ties. The Fujiwara clan's influence waned, as Tadamiki's victory came at the cost of internal unity. The Taira, under Kayamori, emerged as the dominant samurai clan, setting the stage for their brief supremacy until the Heiji Rebellion of 1160. Cultural and historical legacy. The Hogen Rebellion was a watershed moment, exposing the fragility of Heian court politics and heralding the samurai's rise. The Hogen Monogatari immortalized the conflict, blending history and legend to celebrate samurai valor and tragedy. Its tales of Tamatomo's archery and Yashitomo's filial betrayal resonate in Japanese culture, inspiring later literature and art. The rebellion also foreshadowed the establishment of the Kamakura shogunate in 1185, marking the transition to a feudal era dominated by military rulers. The rebellion's impact on Heian society was profound. The aristocratic Kyoge lost ground to the samurai, whose martial ethos reshaped Japan's governance. The conflict also highlighted the tensions between imperial authority, Fujiwara ambition, and warrior power, setting a precedent for future power struggles. Scholars note that the rebellion's brevity belied its significance, as it catalyzed the shift from courtly to military dominance, a transformation that defined medieval Japan. Reflections on a turning point. The Hogen Rebellion, though short-lived, was a defining chapter in Japan's history. It was a clash of old and new, of courtly intrigue and samurai might, that reshaped the nation's trajectory. The Hogen Monogatari captures its drama, while historical records confirm its impact. The rebellion's legacy lies in its role as a bridge between the Heian period's aristocratic elegance and the Kamakura period's martial rigor, a moment when Japan's future was forged in the fires of Kyoto.